أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من شر الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد، والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الميامين المنتجبين، واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في محكم كتابه: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولقد كتبنا في الزبور من بعد الذكر أن الأرض يرثها عبادي الصالحون. آمنا بالله. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inshallah, we are going to take another topic. We spoke about social justice, social movement of Dajjal, social movement of Sufyani, social movement of Khurasani. And now, and there was a Nafs Zakiyya also. Now we are going to take the social movement of Gog and Magog, which is by Christian and by and Muslims, they call them Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Ya'juj and Ma'juj, we have two types of narrations, like two types of indication: Quranic indication and the indications in the Hadith. If you look into the Quranic indications, they are very precise and very close. We are going to mention them. If you look into the Ahadith, there are plenty of Hadith, and some of the Hadith you will find like these types are like snow white creatures, those dwarfs, you know, they have these long ears, they sleep on one ear, they cover with another ear. They're like a kind of animalistic creatures, you know, they're not human. Maybe they are jinns, or maybe they are some kind of creatures similar to human. They're mutants, maybe they are types of apes which looks like human, and they have this hair, or they have this kind. Anyhow, I don't want to go into those details or those things. The bottom line is that these are certain creatures. There are two types of creatures: creatures Ya'juj, creatures Ma'juj. These creatures, they eat anything. They eat human. They eat. If they don't have food, they will eat human. So that's the threat to human. That's the reason they are mentioned here. So what happens that I'll briefly summarize what is mentioned as the scenario of Ya'juj and Ma'juj, and then we'll see what Quran tells us, and then we'll see what Quran tells us about the end time, and then we'll see the analytical point of Sayyid Muhammad as-Sadr rahmatullah alayhi. Quran tells us, this Quran and Hadith totally, and Sunnis and Shias mostly, they have this common agreement on this Ya'juj and Ma'juj from the narrations, and many of these narrations, as I mentioned, are historical and some of them are weak. So it's just like linking the puzzles together, or linking the scenario, making one nice scenario. Ya'juj and Ma'juj. It is mentioned that these people, they were attacking the cities of certain human, and they will eat their food, they will eat a lot of stuff, they will cause problem, turmoil. So these people, they could not hold against them. And when Dhul Qarnayn alayhi salatu wasalam, supposedly Alexander the Great, some of them they say Alexander the Great was Dhul Qarnayn, because they see the history of Dhul Qarnayn. In the Islamic text, they see the history of Alexander the Great. They compare together that this person is same person, but Iskandar and Dhul Qarnayn. Dhul Qarnayn is a title of Al-Iskandar, maybe, Allahu Alam. But anyhow, same person, different person. This movement happened by this Dhul Qarnayn or Alexander the Great, and in his time. When he comes to this, because he went all around the earth, Al-Iskandar, Alexander or Dhul Qarnayn, he covered the whole earth. He ruled over the whole earth. There are four kings, two were evil and two were good. They had the control over entire earth. One was Dhul Qarnayn, just king, a pious king, who had the ruling over the whole world, earth, and the other one is Prophet Solomon, Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam, Solomon son of David. These are the righteous king, just kings. And there were two kings who were evil, who had the control over whatever lands they could have on the earth. One is Nimrod, and other is Bukht al-Nasr. These are mentioned in narration. God knows better. Maybe these were two kings were entire earth. That means the region which were populated at that time of the earth, because there are, it's impossible for Namrud to have control over the Americas and South America and Australia. It's maybe the lands which were in his control were these lands. God knows better. Allahu A'lam. Because the population was very small, and the population started from Iraq, from place where Adam alayhi salatu wasalam was living. So, and Prophet Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam lived in Iraq. So Iraq was the first where the human population, the modern human population, rise from the prophets and prophethoods and all those kind of things. So now Ya'juj and Ma'juj, these people, they are creatures, maybe they are mutants. Now somehow they whenever they attack a community, they just eat everything, resources and all these kind of things. And it was difficult for these people to get rid of them. So the Prophet Zulqarnain alayhi salatu wasalam comes to them and they seek help. Help us, we'll give you as much as money you want, just get rid of these people. Just help us. Prophet Zulqarnain alayhi salatu wasalam said, okay, I don't need your money. I have enough money. God has given me a lot of money. All what I want is helper. Because مَا كَانَ اللَّهُ مُغَيِّرًا مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. If you want to have a change, start changing. Don't sit hand on hand and say, okay, let's have a change. No. You need to start working, move your body, do something. So Dhul-Qarnain alayhi salatu said, okay, I'm going to help you. But I'm not here somebody who's working on labor charges. I have a lot of money. God has given me a lot. I want you to help me. You want to get rid of these people? Come on. But you have men. Oh, okay, my men are my men. They're there. They will help. But you guys need to start from yourselves. Move. Come on, get up. Keep your money for yourself. I need to see you guys move. So they started to move because if they want, they have to work. And that's why we say that if we want anything, we have to work for it. That's it. We cannot just sit and, oh God, give me. Oh Prophet, come. Then when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they were attacking Badr, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked his companion, are you with me, supporting me? So they said, yes, O Messenger of Allah. We are not going to tell you how the people of Musa, how the Israelites, Bani Israel, children of Israel, they told Musa, oh Musa, you and your God go and fight. We are going to sit here. Once you're done, tell us, we'll come inside and enjoy. Come on, get up, what happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punished them. Okay, stay here. 40 years you are going to be lost in the wilderness of the desert. Until the next generation who are willing to go and fight for their rights, they are the one I'm going to support them. You guys are lazy, beanbag people, chips sitting on the couch people. Stay there, sit there, to hell with you guys. Stay in the wilderness. They suffered. They were in the wilderness for 40 years in the desert. And after that, the new generation came, the youth. They had suffered a lot and they wanted to have this change. And those are the one, they entered the lands of the enemies of Bani Israel, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supported them, and Joshua son of Nun was their leader, the successor of Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, the appointed successor of Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. So this is the thing. And so Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he asked, he said, oh Messenger, go, we will not tell you like the people of Musa said that go you and your Lord. We will tell you and your Lord go and fight. We are with you among the defenders and supporters. This was the most of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. They responded when the Prophet told them, are you going to help? Because what will Prophet do? I mean, Prophet is going to be martyred, that's it. If Prophet is coming here for you guys, Imam Mahdi ﷺ is coming, it's for you guys, for those people who are suffering, oppressed. Work hard to push the oppression away, push the tyranny away, then he will come and help you. But if you are saying, oh Imam, come and help us, oh Imam, come and help us, and do nothing, that's not acceptable. That's craziness. That's the beanbag couches, those chips eating people type nature, fat bellies, and just sit and, oh Imam, come, and we are watching TV and playing games and all this kind of, come on, you are disgraced. Move, do something, become active, help the imam. You have to, you don't want oppression, you don't want tyranny, you don't want this horrible system, economical system which is eating everybody. Work for the imam. Tell the people no, that there's somebody who will come soon if we are prepared for him, if we're prepared to help him in his peaceful government. So these people, they started to work with the Dhul Qarnayn, and finally Dhul Qarnayn built a huge wall with an alloy, with a mixture of iron and brass, and that because what they do, they eat everything. These Yajuj Majuj, they start licking the wall, because these people, they build walls and everything. They destroy the wall, they start licking the wall, they start eating everything, and they just make holes, they poke holes. So what happened when Dhul Qarnayn built this? They could not destroy it. They want to poke holes in this to come out. They are in between two valleys like Grand Canyon. You cannot climb up, because many people say, okay, the valleys are like this. So people, they can, if they are trapped in the valley and there's a wall in front of them, why can't they climb up like that? No, this valley looks like a Grand Canyon valley. But those people who are living in the United States, they can understand, because Grand Canyon, it's like this, valley like this. That means you cannot climb like that. You have to be a mountain climber somehow to climb all the way very high up. It's very, very difficult, close to impossible task to climb the walls of Grand Canyon, which are very like straightforward downwards. They're not even like inclined. So there was a valley. They built a wall. Now they cannot climb the valley. They cannot poke the hole. They cannot, and they are trapped there until the day of judgment, or until the end time, or until the coming of the Imam Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. Now here's the thing, when we will go to the hadith, ayat, I'm not going to come to the hadith. You can just read about the hadith, about the nature of these people, long hair, short hair, this, that. We're going to focus on what's going to happen when Imam comes. What is the role of these people, and what is the role of Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, and what is the thing. So let's go and read, read the ayat which indicates the existence, first of all, of this Yajuj and Majuj, so it may not sound like a fairy tale. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Hatta idha balagha as-saddayn. Hatta idha balagha as-saddayn. Saddayn, when he reached between the two mountains. That means even the mountain is not mentioned in the Quran like a mountain. Saddain, sad means a dam. When they build a dam to the river, the sad, that means it is a barrier. So it's not a mountain, it is a sad, one sad, two sad. That means these mountains, somehow they have this trench, somehow they have this straight sad type characteristics. So Saddain, down. There's no mountain type feature. It's like a sad, and there is their village is in between their city. So when he comes to this area, before arriving this Saddain, min dunihima, because this Saddain has Yajuj and Majuj. These two valleys has Yajuj and Majuj in it. So this is the two Saddain. He did not arrive there. Before arriving to Yajuj and Majuj, there was a city, neighboring. They were complaining. They're saying, "Oh, hatta idha balagha as-saddayn, wajada min dunihima qawman." When he arrived, these two great valleys, the two great trench type, Grand Canyon type, Saddain, straight mountain type thing, he found there was a people before that area. La yakaduna yafqahuna qawla. They don't understand. They're ignorant. Beanbag people, couch people, lazy, crazy people, they don't understand anything. Ignorance, all what they do is complain and complain. Yafqahuna qawla. The people who could hardly understand a word, قالوا يا ذو القرنين, O ذو القرنين, إن يأجوج ومأجوج مفسدون في الأرض. These Ya'juj and Ma'juj, these two tribes, the Gog and Magog, they are causing corruption. They are mischief in the land. Shall we then pay you a tribute on condition that you should raise a barrier between us and them? فَهَلْ نَجْعَلْ لَكَ خَرْجًا. This kharj. Sometimes you see in Persian Gulf, they say, give me kharjiyya. Some of them they say with cha. In Urdu they say kharcha. Kharcha kitna kharcha. It is an Arabic word. It is originally an Arabic word. Kharj means taking out, like taking something out from the pocket, money taking out the pocket. So we will give you whatever is, we will take you out money from our pocket. Kharj, khuruj, exit, taking out. So many people, they say kharjiya, kharjiya. This is an Indian word, you know, because Urdu they say kharcha, kharcha, kharjiya. That means the expenditure, kharcha, expenditure. It's an Arabic word. You'll be surprised. We will make you kharj. We'll make you some kind of wages. You know, we'll give you some money. Don't worry. We have a lot of money. فَهَلْ نَجْعَلُ لَكَ خَرْجًا? Should we agree on a deal that will pay you this much? عَلَىٰ أَن تَجْعَلَ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَهُمْ سَدًّا. That means on one condition, we'll pay you, you build us this. Dhul Qarnayn alayhi salatu said, قَالَ, Alexander blocked them from the world, for these people. قَالَ مَا مَكَّنِّي فِيهِ رَبِّي. What Allah has given me, the control, all the things, is much more better than what you are going to give me. Allah has given me a lot. خَيْرٌ is better, is sufficient. Now this Makkanni, Dhul Qarnayn, could mean the control. He has a lot of wealth. Or he is indicating the faith, because he was so pious. So Dhul Qarnayn was so pious. He's telling them, what Allah has given me, the control over the nafs, over the desires, is much more better than my faith. If I have my faith, I have love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in my heart, is much more better than the money which you are offering me. So these are the two interpretations. قَالَ مَا مَكَّنِّي فِيهِ رَبِّي, my Lord, which has given me control over, or which whatever He has given me. خَيْر, I have better than you guys. So, but here the indication is that I have a lot of wealth. Indicates that he's asking not for money, he's asking for physical help. فَعِينُونِ بِقُوَّةٍ. Come on, help me with your muscles, with your arms. Get out from those bean bags, you know. Go those couches, those chips eating. Come on, move, you know, move on. Like that nature. I've seen some of those youth, you know, they're just good for nothing, only TV games and watching TVs and eating chips and all those kind of junk food and sitting on those bean bag or couches or whatever. When will these precious youth, they are being wasted? When will they wake up, you know? Imam is waiting for them, they're waking up. We all need to be alert and wake up and prepare for His coming. فَعِينُونِ بِقُوَّةٍ أَجْعَلْ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ رَدْبًا. I will make a fortified. I will make a fortified barrier between you and them. This fortified barrier. Okay, Dhul Qarnayn, what do you need? Let us know, inshallah, we'll help you. Atuni zubar al-hadid. Bring me blocks of iron. Until when he had filled up the space between the two mountainsides, he said, blow until when he had made it as fire, he said, bring me molten brass which I may pour over it. So here it is very important. They brought blocks of iron. This is the mountain, this is the valley. They filled they made a barrier of iron wall. So it's like iron inside. Now he said, let's blow fire, huge fire. So it's like a explicit detail about how Dhul Qarnayn alayhi salatu wasalam built this wall. And then once it starts to melt down, that means it's ready to glue to each other. These blocks, they will become glued to each other. We will pour cement type nature, molten brass. So what will come? The brass will come and fill in the gaps between these blocks, and like it will do like a cement, and then we'll let it cool down. You will have a solid alloyed wall of brass and iron. And then when آتوني زبر الحديد حتى إذا ساوى بين الصدفين قال انفخوا حتى أجعله نارا. Keep blowing until I make it red fire. This, like, it starts to become like a melting iron. قال آتوني أفرغ عليه قطرة. قطرة is molten brass. فما استطاعوا أن يظهروه وما استطاعوا له نقبا. So one is استطاعوا, one is استطاعوا. So they could not come out of it, or they could not make hole in it, Ya'juj and Ma'juj. So they were not able to scale it, or not, or could they make a hole in it. Now this is Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Then Dhul Qarnayn says, قال هذا رحمة ربي رحمة من ربي فإذا جاء وعد ربي جعله دكاء وكان وعد ربي حقا. So this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, this is a mercy from my Lord, but when the promise of my Lord comes to pass, He will make it level. This wall is going to come down, crumble down and become flat on the ground. And the promise of my Lord is ever true. That means wa'du rabbi. Now here's the interpretation. What is this promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is He talking about the day of judgment? When the day of judgment comes, this wall will fall down, and Ya'juj and Ma'juj will spread all on the earth, causing disaster, devastation on the earth, and then the Qiyamah will come on. The day of doomsday will come. That's the theory of doomsday coming on the evil people. So Ya'juj and Ma'juj will be left on the earth as an evil people, and the Qiyamah will come on them because they will eat everything. Or when the time comes, promised time is the day of the coming of the Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, because that is also promise. Wa'd as-sadiq, the 12th Imam, is the true promise. The true promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, of all the Imams alayhi salatu wasalam. This promise has to happen. It's an inevitable. So which promise this ayat is talking about? Based on one interpretation, is before the day of judgment, they will fill the earth hell. They will open hell on earth. Or no, before the time of the Imam. The third theory says, after that, when Imam will be martyred, when Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam will take over the rule of the earth, that's the time when they will come, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will destroy them with the dua of Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. So these are the three stages, three interpretations. God knows which one is going to happen. Number one, either they are going, this end time is the time before the 12th Imam Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif, which Sayyid Muhammad al-Sadr supports it. Is it after the time of the Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, in his government? Weak opinion. In the time of Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, and Prophet Isa will be this du'as, destroy them. No war, just dua, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will destroy them with a virus, for example, something like that, virus which only attacks Ya'juj and Ma'juj, and human, they don't get affected with this virus, because there are certain viruses, they attack the animals, or they attack certain races of human also, and the other races, they are not, they are immune to such type of viruses. So, or it is before the end time, after the government of Imam Mahdi, after the government of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, Jesus alayhi salatu wasalam, when the earth will be filled with evil. Is that the time? So these are the different interpretation. So whatever interpretation, God knows better. But Sayyid Muhammad al-Sadr says, if it is before the time of Imam Mahdi, then this Gog and Magog is a metaphorical movement. It is not a real Gog and Magog. It's people, it's a kind of economical system eating up everything. Gog and Magog, like these loans and economical problems and droughts and famine and all these are Gog and Magog. The Gog and Magog is metaphor for famine, for hunger, for economical problems on the earth. These are huge Gog and Magog. This is Sayyid Muhammad Sadr's one of the interpretations metaphorically if taken. وَتَرَكْنَا بَعْضَهُمْ يَمُوجُ فِي بَعْضٍ. This Ya'juj and Ma'juj, they will come over each other, and on that day we will leave a part of them in conflict with another part, and the trumpet will be blown, so we will gather all of them together. So this ayat tells us that it will be very close to the day of judgment. It will be very close to the doomsday. This is ayat of the Quran. And those people who say that it is before the Imam Mahdi, they take metaphorically, but maybe real Gog and Magog are going to come before, after the time of Prophet Isa, between the government of Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, which will be the successor of Imam Mahdi, and the day of judgment. So they might come in between. Now maybe Allah will destroy them because of the dua of Prophet Isa, or they will destroy the people of the earth, and the Qiyamah will be established on the evil ones on the earth. So these are the two opinions we mentioned. Review our last session, one of the last sessions. We said that there are two theories, and we are going to talk about that. Is the earth going to end on the evil ones, or is going to end on the righteous ones? Another chapter in the Quran says, وَحَرَامٌ عَلَىٰ قَرْيَةٍ أَهْلَكْنَاهَا أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. And it is binding on a town which we destroy that they shall not return. The حَرَامٌ عَلَىٰ قَرْيَةٍ أَهْلَكْنَاهَا أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. These people, they are not going to return. These people, they are not going to return, whoever are destroyed. Anyhow, that's another interpretation. I don't want to go there because we don't have time. We want to go into Ya'juj and Ma'juj. حَتَّى إِذَا فُتِحَتْ. This is the day of judgment, or before the day of judgment. حَتَّى إِذَا فُتِحَتْ يَأْجُوجُ وَمَأْجُوجُ وَهُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ يَنْسِلُونَ. And even when Gog and Magog are let loose, and they shall break forth from every elevated place. They will be like ants coming down, you know. And people, they will not be able to defeat them. That's why no army can defeat them. Their numbers are huge among us. Large numbers of people, you know, like maybe millions or 2 million. I mean, only dua of Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, as mentioned, can help in this case, or the day of judgment be falling on them after they eat every single person on the earth. They'll be so hungry, you know, they could eat everything. They could eat a horse, as they say. وَاقْتَرَبَ الْوَعْدُ الْحَقِّ فَإِذَا هِيَ شَاخِصَةٌ أَبْصَارُ الَّذِينَ. And then the true promise shall draw nigh. Then lo, the eyes of those who disbelieved shall be fixedly upon. Oh, woe to us! Surely we were in the state of heedless. As to this, nay, we are unjust. So these people who are disbelievers, unjust people, they'll say, Ya waylana, oh, regression, they will resent, regret. قَدْ كُنَّا فِي غَفْلَةٍ. We were heedless about all this and we were unjust. So this is also talking about, this ayat is talking about Gog and Magog, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, before the day of judgment. وَاقْتَرَبَ الْوَعْدُ الْحَقِّ. When the Gog and Magog are taken out, or they come out, the true promise comes very close. That means the day of judgment. And now this wa'd al-haq, is it the coming of the Imam? Same interpretation like last one. Or is it the day of judgment? 1, 2, 3, 4 possibilities comes here as well. So you can do your further researches and investigate. Anyhow, possibilities are there. The indications of the narrations of companions. From the school of companions, أخرج أبو داود, Sunan Abu Dawud, one of the 6 books of the school of companions. قال فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. There are 10 signs of the day of judgment, the doomsday, the day of resurrection. Among them, he means خروج يأجوج ومأجوج تكون أو لن تقوم الساعة حتى يكون ما قبل. So Ya'juj and Ma'juj, they are going to come. The doomsday, the rapture is not going to happen, or the Sa'ah, the end time. Now that's the thing, because this ayah, this hadith does not say the day of judgment, or the day of, it talks about the time, the end time, as-Sa'ah, wa'd al-haq, the true promise. So which is it? Because we have two end times. End time of the Imam Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, end time of the day of judgment, the doomsday, the destruction of the world, the perish of the world, the rapture, or the apocalypse. So these two things, which one is this ayat talking about? Is Ya'juj Ma'juj going to come before this, or is Ya'juj or Ma'juj going to come before that? So anyhow, let's just go through these points and be done with today's session. They will be plenty and will kill most of the people of the earth. They want to kill people in the heaven. Oh, I mean, not just earth, they want to go up. How can they go up? Nowadays we cannot be surprised because of the airplane. They are done with the people of the earth, or they are taking care of the people of earth. They are eating, and they are also eating the people of the, or taking care, or destroying, or taking over the people of the heaven. That means people in the airplane, perhaps traveling in the airplane, people of the, or like they want to kill the people in the heaven, perhaps habitant of the space, or jinns, or in the skyscrapers, or lofty buildings, or airplanes, and so on. They will be coming from everywhere. They will consume the resources of the land, and they will invade the land they invade. God will destroy them by sending a kind of perishing small worms, or disease, or bacteria or viruses from the heavens. So there's no war with these people. These people are crazy, midget type people, dwarfs type people. Somehow they're plenty numbers. I mean, how many? Like, imagine you have the sword, you're carrying sword, or you're carrying gun, and these millions of roaches, they swarm on your body. Which one you will fight? Which one you will kill? You know, or hundreds of snakes coming and fighting creatures is not like fighting human when they come jump on your body from everywhere and all around, you know. So that's a kind of difficult situation. If you kill like with your laser gun or machine gun, how many will you be able to kill? I mean, 100, 200, at least you are devoured. When the next 100 batch comes, you're out of bullets, you're out of energy, and you are inside their belly. So that's why it is mentioned that Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasallam will do dua, and because of that dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send a kind of disease, a kind of worm, and they will be destroyed by that. And let's see Sayyid Muhammad Sadr's symbolic possibility, symbolic narrations or symbolic possibility. He says most of the narrations, we're not talking about the ayat, now we're talking about the narrations. He says most of the narrations are either the explicit narrations. When he says most of the narrations are weak anywhere, he means explicit, the fine details, like they will do this and they will do that, and they're sleeping on one ear and 2 ear and all these kind of things. Most of the narrations are either weak or symbolic. Most of the narrations do not mention Prophet Jesus ﷺ in it. Perhaps they will come out before the doomsday, and not before or in the time of Imam Mahdi ﷺ. Some indicate perhaps before the coming of the Imam Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. And the 12th Imam is not mentioned in the narrations of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. So some indicate perhaps before the coming of the Imam. So why? Because there are narrations, they say he will come, they will come before. Imam Mahdi is not mentioned. In one weak narration or some weak narrations mention Prophet Isa will ask Allah, it will destroy them. So there is no name of Imam and Jesus in the narrations of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. So maybe they are going to come before the coming of the Imam. Economical crisis, this is the time of the Imam, promised time. Economical huge crisis, metaphorical interpretation. Or real people at the end of the time, after the government of Imam Mahdi, after the government of Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. But the problem is that these ahadith, let's hypothetically take it as a metaphor, like economical system invading the earth, bad economical system, bad economical crisis. But what about the ayat which talks about these people seeking refuge from Dhul Qarnayn? Help us against these people. These people are crazy people. How can we solve that problem metaphorically? So metaphorical interpretation, the materialistic animalistic world before the rise of the intellectual humanity, which was the barrier preventing such materialism from coming to existence and taking over the world, has now risen, breached the barrier of the intellect. The invasion of, these are the two possibilities. One, materialistic, animalistic world before the rise of modern human or intellectual human or intellectual humanity, which was a barrier, like ignorance, materialism was a barrier against the humanity, against the use of the intellect, you know, preventing such materialism from coming to existence. So these are the Ya'juj Ma'juj, he says. This could be, I mean, this is the metaphorical interpretation. Breached the barrier of the intellect. Number two possibility, the invasion of the materialism from every side consumes the intellect and kills it, and they wish to invade the heavens as well. But the 12th Imam alayhi salatu wasalam will come and perish it, the materialism or materialistic system. They will send their similar to heavens. Perhaps is an indication of the media invading the heavens and materialism. So they will send the Ya'juj and Ma'juj, they will send their similars. That means their men, they will go invade the heavens. And they will, so metaphorically they say maybe it is an indication of invading the heavens and the media invading the heavens. All around the heavens there's a media signals, and with the materialism. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make the appearance of our 12th Imam soon, We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us among His sincere and loyal supporters in His occultation and after His appearance. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep all the Muslims and every peaceful human around the world safe and secure from every evil and every terror. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all our beloved ones who have left this world. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our fasting and our worships in this holy month, and to make this month of peace and prosperity for all the believers around the world and for every peaceful human being. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi tahirin.